Welcome for the workshop webinar in coding program day 2. So this day 2 is going to give you again a detailed description of what we talked and what we learned in day 1. So again we'll start with an affirmation, and this affirmation says taking the first step is half the battle won. You agree to it? The first step is the most difficult step in whatever things you do. But the moment you take your first step, the rest of the steps do follow. So this is an affirmation and we're going to start with this. Now the agenda of this day 2 is to understand in detail your customer persona, how you're going to explore the market, and how you're going to do the competitor analysis. Right? Now let's jump directly to your customers. So what all information would be needing from your customers? So it's not about you going to ask your customers. These are the things which your ideal customer should be possessing, or you should be knowing all these parameters of one customer which you assume could be your ideal customer. So let's say the age, what kind of a target or aged audience you want. Maybe they are kids, maybe they are young, they are maybe old people. So that age has to be defined. Then their educational qualification. Then comes the occupation, their income level, the marital status, location, what kind of a vehicle or mobile they are owning. So let me first brief you a little bit more about it. This particular customer persona has divided into two parts. One is the demography, one is the psychography. So the list which we have given here, all those bulleted points, they are a combination of demographic and the psychographic criteria which you need to know in order to understand your customers well. Let's say your customer is owning a high-end car. Let's talk about an Audi or a BMW, a Mercedes. So a customer who has this kind of a financial capability, or he is owning that kind of a high-end or premium products. So you are targeting to this kind of customers has to be with premium products only, because these are the people who can afford the premium products. If you are targeting a person who has a limited income of, let's say, 5 lakh a year, you cannot pitch him products which are worth more than that or even half of that. Correct? So you have to understand what is the buying behavior, number one, what kind of gadgets or social behavior they are having. Are they utilizing their weekends with maybe on a cruise, or maybe in a 7-star hotel, or maybe traveling abroad or something? So you have to understand this well. Now if your customer is not on social media, maybe that person may be old or maybe not that tech savvy, I would say, or not even say tech savvy. Let's say he is not spending more time on social media, and if your product is going to go more through social media, then that's not the right fit. Correct? So you should understand what kind of a targeting you are going to do. Then, as I said, the interest and the behavior, the spending habits, the pain points, what exactly. Maybe the customer is looking for a high-end, say, institute. Money is not a concern. The customer is looking for maybe a premium institute in India or abroad, where money is not a concern for him, but he wants the best for his child. So if you are into that kind of a business in which you are referring, let's say there are people who are doing that kind of a business, helping students to go abroad to different universities. Maybe there are different models. I'm not going into that kind of a detail of one particular business, but I'm just giving an example that if it is something like that, so if your targeting is not right, all the efforts will go in vain. So these are the information you should be having for a customer which you think could be an ideal customer for you, right? Don't understand. Take it again. I'll repeat it. Normally people do confuse that. People do ask me that, how am I going to ask all these questions to your customers? No. You don't have to ask all these questions to your customers. Just need to create all these things on a piece of paper with you, so that if you understand your customers in all these aspects, ideally that could be the best customer for you. Like maybe there are customers who are good readers. So if you know that your customer is a good reader, and if you start your conversation with saying, sir, I have read Think and Grow Rich multiple times, have you gone through it? If he is the reader, definitely he must be knowing about that particular book, or he must have read books from different authors, Indian and abroad. Now, if you start connecting with the customers with that particular psychological behavior of his, that means you are going to make a good rapport, and obviously sales will happen. Sales will be a byproduct of the relationship build, of the services which you're going to offer, of the solution which you're going to give to your customers. So all these things include this particular customer persona. Now, I'll move to the market scanning. So how you're going to understand the market? In the last day one, I told you that to do market and marketing research, correct? Now, how are you going to do it? So there are different tools. You have Google Forms, we have Instagram polls, we have FB and Insta Live, quiz post and webinar Q&A. So these kind of a surveys you can do to understand what the market is looking for. As I said, market research in the market. So your forms could have different questions talking about what you have in the past and what you are looking for in the future. So you have to create this kind of a polls, or when you are doing this kind of a live shows, you can still talk about all this. Similarly, you can create a post with some quiz that should lead you to understand what the market sentiment is, what your exact customers are looking for. And similarly, when you are doing a webinar Q&A, you can directly ask those people who are already attending your webinar to tell you what you were facing and what exactly you are looking for, right? So this comes under the market scanning. And now we are going to talk about the research part. As I said, you have to understand the research that included the competitor in a research in detail, correct? Now, what your competitor is doing as a product. So you have to understand the product features, right? The product pricing, and obviously you have to understand what kind of a review the customers are giving to your competitors. There are tools. We'll talk about those tools as well, in which you can see what reviews your competitors are getting from the same market, from the customers whom you are also targeting, correct? So these are few of the things which we are going to learn in detail with different tools and technologies. So this is part of the research, and again, as I said, we'll have to do a homework, because it's not about only theoretical lecture. You have to do it on your own. That is how you're going to create that. So the homework for day 2 is to create your customer avatar or customer persona. So for that, you have to first of all research on your business, research on your customers, create that ideal customer persona of your own, right? And obviously you have to do this competition research. So go to competitors' website, their social media, and see what kind of ads they are running, what kind of posts they are creating, what all offers or packaging they are doing for their product to be sold. So once you do it, you will be through with day 2. So looking forward for day 3. See you. Bye-bye.